Hey, what's up guys, TechTime here, and this is my first impressions of the brand new iPhone 17e, which replaces the previous generation of the iPhone 16e. So I've been using this phone for the past couple of hours, and I have some solid impressions to say about this phone. When I first saw this phone get announced, I was kind of disappointed. I thought to myself, well, they really didn't change much. However, it's a little bit deeper than that. So a lot of the changes are in the internals of this device. So design-wise, obviously, it's still the same as the previous generation of the 16e, which may not impress a lot of people, but I have a feeling that if you pair this phone with the MacBook Neo, then you have a Apple ecosystem starter kit. But that's a conversation for another day. But basically, yeah, the design really did not change much other than the addition of a pink color, which if you're into that, you're into that. But yeah, so they did introduce a different color instead of the black and white that they had in the previous generation. But everything else as far as design is basically the same. Another thing that they improved is within the display itself. So they did add ceramic shield too, which is something similarly found to the iPhone 17 of this current generation. Another thing that they add that you can't see by the design itself is the addition of MagSafe. Enjoy it. As far as the display goes, as far as brightness and things like that, I did notice that the iPhone 17e is slightly brighter than the previous generation. However, Apple is still sticking hard with this notch, so the notch stays for another generation. I was expecting the dynamic island to make its way to the E lineup of their devices, but I guess we'd have to wait for the iPhone 18e. We'll see if they do it or not. Now, it still is a 60 hertz display, and they did improve the CPU, so you have the same processor and the same kind of GPU as the iPhone 17, which is really fantastic. For $599, I think that's a really good deal. The starting storage on this device is 256 gigs. So AI tasks on this phone are going to be just as good as the standard iPhone 17 if you plan on taking advantage of Apple Intelligence, which so far I don't think a lot of people are really taking full advantage of it. But yeah, so basically everything about this iPhone 17e is a slight bump from the previous generation. I do have to say that what I really like about it is the upgrade in storage without upgrading the price. So giving us 256 gigs of standard storage is a huge thumbs up. So this phone did receive a solid increase in efficiency, so the battery life on here has improved quite a bit, and because it does have MagSafe compatibility, or all your MagSafe accessories will work fine on this device. As far as gaming and heavy tasks and things like that, this phone did not heat up at all, and again, like I said, the battery was efficient. So for long-term usage, this phone is really good, and believe it or not, it has a better processor than the MacBook Neo. And this is, I feel like, where Apple is smart about marketing, and I feel like if you a college student that want to get into the Apple ecosystem, but you don't want to go over $1,000, then you can get an iPhone 17e, which is going to be reliable and a good starter iPhone. Pair that with the MacBook Neo that you can get for $499, which you would be looking at around $900 for both devices. And I think that's a really killer deal to get into the Apple ecosystem. You get a brand new iPhone and a brand new MacBook for less than $900. Who would have thought that that type of day would come? But yeah, so the iPhone 17e is definitely going to meet a lot of iPhone startups' desires. So you get the Fusion camera as well, which did receive a slight improvement. It still is a pretty solid camera. However, me personally, I do miss the ultra wide. So that's something that I did have to kind of get used to. But other than that, you still can record at 4K at 60 frames per second. It takes some really solid pictures. It's very similar to the iPhone 17's photos that it takes. Other than the missing ultra wide, it does really well. So with that being said, I do want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. If you have the iPhone 16e, I don't know if I would upgrade to the 17e though. I mean, are you really down to spend another $599? I don't know. So with that being said, I do want to hear your guys' thoughts on the iPhone 17e. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you feel like it's just a waste of money? Would you rather get an older iPhone for a used price, but get extra cameras? So let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.